G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, it's 19 to 29. So things are drying out a little bit. We had a few showers last week, but nothing like we have had. And I went away on the weekend to a family friend's wedding. And before I went, I thought I'd try and do a bit of mowing. Well, I had to pull up on that. I just couldn't do it. And we went away Saturday morning, went out to Mergen, and we went to the Dusty Hill Winery for the wedding, and gee, a lovely spot. And yeah, we had a cabin on Bajelki Peterson Dam at the main, near the wall there, the council park, and we had a cabin looking over the water. It was just beautiful, lovely and cool. We went from over here just sweating last week, like didn't matter what you did, the humidity was huge and you just bored sweat out. And over there it was nice, you could just sleep. You actually looked for the blanket to sleep with the fresh air coming off the dam, and being a couple of hours drive west, so it was okay. Here's Sansa. Whenever I do the stew now, she whiles in just to see what I'm talking about, I suppose. But yeah, it was a great wedding. Ben and Maddie got hitched and we had a few beers and a bit of a catch up, and yesterday morning at the camp kitchen we all got together and had a barbecue and had a barbie brekkie, and yeah, some muffins with bacon and eggs and things like that, and look, it was just lovely. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. So I came home yesterday and unpacked the car and did all that sort of stuff, and I thought, boy, I might be able to hop on the mower. So I hopped on the mower yesterday and a little bit this morning, and I've been round to do all the roundup for the weeds this morning before we go, because tomorrow morning, Tuesday, we're heading off. I've got the little grey Fergy that we did up in the shop here, the 1954 TEA 20. We've got that on the trailer all strapped down. Yeah, you'd reckon I was strapping a bloody D9 dozer, but anyway, it's a good thing. I just had to ring my mate, John Dudley. He's a interstate truckie, and it's just some of the bullshit you hear. And I was on Facebook last week, as you know, we're all on Facebook all the time, probably too much. And it come up about tying tractors down in Australia, and some bloke jumped on and said, "Don't go using chains and dogs in New South Wales, you'll get pinged." And I thought, oh, bloody sure. When I went down there to pick up those books a fortnight ago, I was following a couple of big balers on a semi, and they were chained down with dogs and that. So anyway, I thought, because I've got chains made for Fergies. I usually put a tie-down eye on the front axle somewhere, and I've got chains with safety hooks and over-centre dogs and all that on there. And then I usually try and find somewhere on the back of the tractor, and if it's got a drawbar, I'll use the drawbar pin. The little Fergy doesn't have the drawbar or anything like that on it, but where the drawbar goes, I've got two flat plates that came off a 100 series Massey Ferguson stabiliser, chainsaw stabiliser, so I've bolted them up underneath and with the 5/8 bolts. I've used grade 8 bolts and de-shackled them down, and I've pulled it back onto the front chains. So I had it all tied up on there, and I thought, I'll ring me mate JD. So I rang JD, and he said, "Load of bullshit, mate." He says, yeah, everyone's saying you've got to have straps. And but look, an interesting thing is, I notice in the UK, a lot of people clamp their tractors on the wheels, and I can certainly see the sensibility in doing that, as in, if you have a strap going around the wheels and your ratchet straps in through there, pulling them tight and pulling them down, well, the tractor can't jump or skip sideways or anything like that. A fine idea, but we don't have to do that in Australia. A little grey Fergy weighing 1.1 metric tonnes, 1100 kilos give or take, depending on my tyre wear and how full the fuel tank is and all of the above. Yeah, look, the ratchet straps are fine. You can get away with those. A lot of semis use ratchet straps on particular loads. So, but anyway, yeah, JD says, "Oh, just a load of bullshit." He says, "What you're doing there," he says, "it's fine. You've got to have the chains rated at 4.5 tonne, I think, pull, and the each each over centre load binder is rated at 4,500 kilos. So all the bullshit you hear, but anyway, you just got to check on it and see. So yeah, it was an interesting thing. Just getting it straight from the horse's mouth. A bloke that does it for a living, day in, day out. So, but people get on Facebook full of bullshit. But anyway, that's life. I got the little Fergy registered through the week. It cost me $230 for rego and 80 something for insurance in Queensland. I've printed out the legislation on lights and things like that because our local trekking club, they had a trek on the weekend that I couldn't go to for the wedding, and they said all tractors must have stoplights, taillights, indicators and all that. And I thought, oh, perhaps something's changed. But look, a couple of things have changed, and like it's no problem putting all that stuff on your tractor. It is safer to have it for sure. But the real early tractors before 54, we can get away with just a flashing light, a mirror and a horn. I'm just going with a flashing light, and I don't know what New South Wales rules are, but I'm just going to take the tractor with the number plate and the flashing light, and that's it. I'm registered. I've got proper registration. It's unlimited. I can drive it anywhere. I haven't got headlights on it, so I'm not allowed to drive after dark. If I put headlights on, I can drive after dark. It's just one of those things. So when I finish it, the 135, I'm setting up for trekking. Look, it'll have lights and bells and whistles. So, but yeah, just for this, I'm registered so I can go in the street parade. There's a few little tractor runs around. Yeah, they're going out to meet. I think there's 2 treks coming from different directions, and I think there's the opportunity to run out and drive back with some of those fellas, say good day and come back in with them. And may do that, we'll see. But if we've got to have stoplights, taillights and all that, I just don't want that for this tractor. I've got tractors with it. Like one of my 135s has got it. Goldie, that I've had registered for many years, it's got the flashing light and the horn and the mirror, and that's all that's on that, and that's legal. I've been talking to police at street parades and things like that. So different rules for different areas, I suppose, but it is sensible to have it on there for sure. But anyway, I'm registered. I welded up that frame and got the flashing light all hooked up, and I've got somewhere, who knows where, Lance, I just had them in my hand to show you in the stew. I've got a couple of little alligator clips, and on the Anderson plug on the back of the car, if I get a flat battery or something, I can plug in there and just run the car and bang, away we go. And so, yeah, it's all ready to go. We're going in the morning. I've a little bit of packing to do. Ross, our main fella in parts, he has a rostered day off today, so Jude said she was going in, and I said, oh, I'll just have the week off, bugger it. And she's, no, she says, I'll go in, maybe I'll enjoy myself. So Jude's gone in for the day, and I've just about got everything ready. I've just got all the camera gear charging. I'm taking the sound equipment, the camera gear, a GoPro, this camera. Yeah, and see, and if you're one of my followers in Australia and you've put a bit of effort into your pride and joy little Fergy. Like my little Fergy, it's just in its working clothes. It's nothing special. It's just a bloody little tractor. The only special thing about it is it got done up on Bundy Bear's shed and everyone saw what happened to it. But look, if you've got a little tractor and you want us to have a walk around and chuck it on the stew, give us a yell. I'm happy to do that. Next week we're going to, I'm going to try and film quite a bit. Whether I film the street parade or take part in it or what we do, I don't know. But yeah, look, we'll see how we go. But yeah, drop by and say hello for sure. We're going to get there Wednesday, Thursday sometime, and we're going to stay till Sunday evening and drive away Monday morning. So there's plenty of, as far as I know, we're still staying at the caravan park, which is like across the river, just up the hill a little bit. As far as I know, we're staying there because we'll have amenities and things like that, and we don't have a caravan with all the amenities in it. So yeah, we're going up there, stay at the park. So yeah, drop by, have a beer, have a yarn. Most evening meals will be down the pub. Yeah, we've got a book. I probably should ring and book that today. And apparently at the show there's there's a few market stalls and like food trucks, coffee trucks, and the pub is right next door, so might have a snappy pot or two, or a schooner down there, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be a schooner in New South Wales. But anyway, we'll see. I'll probably be looking for a couple of beers in the afternoon at least. Anyway, probably won't get too excited in the morning, but in the afternoon I'll be tasting it. Yes. Well, look, by all means, come and say g'day. It's a shorter stew this week because we've been away, and I've been working outside trying to get everything done, because when you go away for a couple of weeks in this weather, man, you come back and it's like a jungle. So I tried to get everything done. I've sprayed the trees. The citrus trees had a little bit of citrus leaf mite that wasn't there Friday, but geez, they hit it over the weekend. So I've been out to spray the trees. I've got Jude's Yaris under the boat here and ready to go. I think there'll be one Massey Ferguson 65 video coming out this week. I've got one up the spout. And it's either fitting the kingpin or the wheel bearing here. And that's it. But once we get home, we're going to be into it. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're not planning on going anywhere particular. The first weekend in April, there's a show at Tigigi, which is about 30 k's north of us. So we'll probably take something there. I don't know what. Perhaps a 135 I did up. The 135 6-speed I did up a year or two ago. It's never been anywhere. Never been off the property since I've done it up. So perhaps we'll do that and take it up just for a look. And then the weekend after, I think it's 8th and 9th or 9th and 10th. So it's a Friday, Saturday anyway. There's Agro Trend in town here, so we have those two do's coming up once we come home. But I'll still have Sunday, Monday sort of thing free to come up the shed and work. I've got the proper Perkins 203 workshop manual for the engine here. I thought I'd get the engine off last week, but just things didn't go that way. I ended up most afternoons machining up that front axle, and by all means hop onto YouTube, have a look at that front axle job. I have even got it. It's at the moment it just feels a little firm. I'm not sure. I kept a couple of those thin 10th hour shims, and I could always pop a shim behind that front plate and loosen it up. But I'm of the mind I still have to pull the grease nibbles of grease, pull it apart, grease, drill through the bushes for the grease. That's what I'm trying to say. And plus I've got to tidy all the parts up. I just noticed from my hands on the stub axle over here last week, there's just a 15th of surface rust. So I'll deal with that. I'll get all that off and get a bit of undercoat on that today before I go away. Yeah, oh geez, it takes nothing at the moment. Just a handprint on something and away you go. So yeah, look, I'm a bit excited to get away. It's going to be a good do. We've been talking to the people at the shop, and they're all coming over to say g'day. They're either customers or YouTube followers or something like that. They're all coming to have a yarn, say g'day, have a look at the little TE20, and yeah, we'll just go and have a nice social time. I'm not down there to do business. I'll have a couple of Queensland Tractor Spares business cards on me and a couple of Bundy Bear Shed stickers and a few knickknacks. If you catch me at the right place at the right time, we'll be okay. I'll have a bit of gear. But if not, yeah, it's just a time to catch up and catch up with people. There's quite a few people on Facebook and YouTube and all that I speak to very regularly, and never met them physically. So looking forward to that. Gordon Ellis is coming down, the Fergy wrecker that pulls all the Fergies apart. He's coming down. Tommy Horwood from Rural Wrecking up at Inverell, he's coming down to say g'day. Yeah, so a few industry people will be there, so that'll be great. So yeah, look, I'm keen as mustard. I could go right now. But anyway, got to wait for the boss, and we'll toodle off in the morning. I think, some fellas from Kangaroo rang, and they said they're heading down as well. So yeah, tomorrow night we're hoping to stay at Warwick. There's a little caravan park DJs south of town, and just a quiet little place off the highway just a bit. I think we'll pull in there and have a night and have a rest, and might have a red wine or a stubby or something. We'll just see. But the next day we'll be down there, so we'll probably be there 2 days early. But if we can just set up camp and, like I say, have a rest, go and say good day to the locals and the blokes organising, and yeah, have a chat. Have a chat to the publican. There's a go. Anyway, look, all right, so I haven't got a lot in the stew. Most of the last week I did that axle and that was it. Not a lot else happened by the time I did machining for that and a few other machining things for work, and yeah, I just didn't get anything more done. No shed time. Then yeah, Saturday morning we drove out of town and got back late yesterday. So yeah, so today's just get ready to go away day. It's not a working day in the shed, so we'll see. But anyway, look, a bit of a short stew this week. Hopefully it's longer next week. I'm a coordinator for the Fergy Club, the Harry Ferguson Tractor Club of Australia, for our area here, and the Friends of Ferguson Heritage in England and Northern Ireland. They've taken me on as a coordinator for them for the area too. So yeah, and that's just interesting. Yeah, just they got a good site, and they have the archives on service bulletins and things like that. So I'm hopefully be able to top them up. One of their members, Jonathan Hare, he's helped me out no end. The Fergy Club has a proper 65 workshop manual in their stuff, but getting it out, yeah, he's taken on for me. He's got it for me, and it's on its way. So it'll be good. Works out to be about £75 by the time you get it here, and which is I think 135 Aussie dollars. But yeah, it'll be good to have the proper manual. The bloody fuel prices! Everyone's complaining about fuel prices. I went to work on Friday morning, and fuel was 181.9, and I thought, oh well, that's not too bad. I'll fill up on the way home. I had a look on the way home. It was 208. So I went up 18 cents in 4 hours, and then we come back later on the next day and it was 219. And when we were away on the weekend, we saw $2.19 a litre, $2.20 a litre. And there's a little place in Childers, little Shell Servo in Childers, and we didn't stop there, but we just sort of keep an eye out for price just out of interest. They were $2.29.9, so almost $2.30 a litre. When we come back to town yesterday, we had a look and it's $1.21. So fuel's up, so it looks like a bit of an expensive trip for everyone, but that's all right, eh? We don't do it every time, and this shows, I think it's only on every 3 years. So anyway, so look, that's going to do for today. I've just gone for a quick walk around the ute to show you with the camera, so there's a little bit of video at the end. But yeah, look, hopefully I'll see some of you at least and at the Bundy show. I am taking the camera. I'm going to try and put out a stew from down there. Look, just Fergies and Land Rovers are what the show's all about. So what I know about Land Rovers, you could probably write on the back of a postage stamp. But if there's something there nice, I'll have a walk around a few tractors and we'll have a poke about. And hopefully next week sometime when I pull up at a camp, I'll have enough phone range and all that to get a stew out. So see how we go. It's going to be a different one next week. It's going to be on site down there. So let's hope I can find some interesting stuff. All right, I'll shut up. We'll catch you next week, eh? See yous. Well, there we go, through the paddock there. There's a loading ramp. I got the mowing done here. Hey, bloody dog doesn't help much. Hey, what do you reckon? Did you help with the mowing? Did you help with the mowing? Hey, you help by going home, eh? Yep, help by going home. Hey. Always looks like she's listening, even if she's not. Okay, yeah, so I got all the mowing done. I've had the little trailer out there with the spray on to do the roundup, try and kill some of the weeds. I've got the little Fergy here, it's sitting on the trailer raring to go. The Land Cruiser, she's all packed up. A couple of little things to put on, but it's looking okay. It's okay. It's sitting down at the back just ever so slightly, so that's good. You need some drawbar weight. yeah, it's all looking okay. These are the chains, like they're 8mm chains rated at 4.5 tonne. The over centre dog there's 4.5 tonne, and I always use safety hooks, so they've got the eye at each end, so they're all strapped down there. You can oh, tractor doesn't move an inch, she's going good. Tractor's looking okay. The coolant tap's just leaking a little bit, I noticed, just in there, but anyway, we're not going to do anything about that. That's going to be okay. The back, I've got the safety hooks. Then when I come around, you can see in under the back there, I'll just zoom in a bit, there's those two plates that the D-shackles go in. They bolt up under the where the drawbar would normally bolt on, and then I've got closed loops there coming down for the eye, so that's good. We have rego, and I've just left the old pipe galvanised for my little beacon up the top there. It's just a little LED beacon. That sky's looking crappy, but anyway, that's alright. The blue here, the ratchet strap, that's just to stop the ramps from rattling. The struts that hold the ramps up, they're aftermarket sway bar brackets, and yeah, look, they're okay. But the ratchet strap's just as a safety sort of thing, but everything's looking okay. Yeah, she's bolted down well, I think. I've got the battery. We have to have a battery on the back there for so if the trailer comes apart, we have a safety brake valve down here, and it's got to hold the brakes on for 10 minutes, but I choose to put a spare tractor battery in case I ever have a battery failure. I can just drop that battery in and keep going for the weekend. But everything else is all buttoned up nicely. We've got a couple of chairs now in there, but Jude and I sleep in the back here, and look, it's bloody comfy. Yeah, that's 8 foot 1.85 long and 1.85 wide, and I've got a fan up the back, and once we come inside here we've got lights, and that gives us our system voltage, and we've got USB charging ports in here. The whole lot's fused through here. We've got 50 amp Anderson there that we probably don't really need. We've got the 12 volt ciggies up there, as well as more Anderson, 2.1 amp Anderson, so that's where we plug all the cameras and all that sort of stuff in. So, and I've got the same setup on the other side there. So around the back, just extra blankets, and I've got the curtains tucked up out of the way, and we've got a tie down across the back if we need to tie something in. But yeah, we've got an 8-inch high density mattress there, and that's okay. The ladders are so we can get in and out. We've got to climb the little ladder, not too bad. The fridge slides, it's not quite packed yet. The fridge is running at the moment, and we're drawing 4.2 amps. The voltage is 13.5, so we've got plenty up our sleeve. And that's just using the solar panel through all this stuff. We have air on board. That's the air compressor. I pumped everything up with it. We have a Selfie Go in there, so that yeah, we can pop this aerial up. I have a spare aerial up the top there, and I can pop that up, and even if I've got one bar of telephone service, it'll give us 4 or 5 around the vehicle here. So yeah, look, everything's, I think we're pretty well right to go. I don't know how many times I'll check all this before I leave in the morning, but usually I check all in there half a dozen times. And yeah, I run around, I check the chains, I check all my tyres. I bought the trailer up last week, and I don't know if it was before or after the stew, and I checked wheel bearings and things like that. So yeah, so looks like we're ready to rock and roll.